Hello, everyone. Before we jump into the presentation, there's going to be a few short questions that are going to appear on your screen. You could just take a minute to answer each of these, and then we'll begin shortly. Okay, hello again. My name is Subruzzi. I handle the marketing here at 2W Technologies. Thanks for joining us today for this webinar on how to maximize your Office 365 investment. If at any time during today's presentation you have questions, there is a question box on your screen. You can go ahead and send those questions, and we will get to an interactive Q&A at the end. We'll try to answer all the questions next. For those of you who might not be familiar with 2W Technologies, we're a full-service Microsoft and Epicor certified partner, as well as a Tier 1 cloud service provider. We specialize in manufacturing solutions, but we also have clients from various other industries as well. For more information on our products and services, you can visit us at 2wtech.com. The presenters for today's webinar are going to be Mark Jamison, who is our CEO and President, and Randy Cohn, who is a Client Success Manager here at 2W Tech. I will now turn it over to Mark, and he'll get us started.
Hey, thanks, Sue. So I'm here with Randy, and we're going to talk about 365, and this is going to be the first of a series of webinars we're going to put together to help explore the other parts of 365, to help maximize the investment that you've either made or you're going to make. And so as we started to think about it, what do we do? We said, well, why don't we show them how we use 365, particularly in the collaboration tools? So we're going today to attempt to show you how we collaborate internally every day, all the time. And we've got a lot of moving parts, so hopefully it works well. So the first thing I want to talk about is when everybody thinks about 365, they think about the big four, right? Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. And so, or worse, they think, well, that's just my new email machine. And the fact of the matter is there are a ton of applications over and above these big four that is that Office 365 brings to you. And here's the really great thing about it. As you start to explore and as you start to play with 365, you can't break it. So just feel free to click away and try stuff and what happens when I do this and what happens when I do that. And hopefully what we'll do is we'll give you some ground places to go. But especially when we talk about the collaboration parts of 365, it's completely machine independent. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Well, it doesn't matter how you access it. So you can access it through your iPad, you can access it through your phone, you can access through your laptop, the web, your local machine. You may be one of these people that have two PCs, one that you carry with you and one that sits in your office. Well, we can set up 365 so that you never have to have that moment where you go, uh-oh, that's on my other machine. And we're going to give you access to all the information that you need to have when you need to have it. And the whole thing is driven by your Windows login. So that name and password that you utilize to get into email is the exact same one you're going to use to get into the web. It's the exact same one you're going to use to set up your phone. It's the exact same one you're going to be able to use from any browser anywhere in the world. So this is 365, and it's kind of a feature puke of applications here. But this is the world of 365, and it's a lot. And so today, what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on these four. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time with SharePoint, although clearly SharePoint is part of the collaboration tools, because quite frankly, we could do a whole webinar just on SharePoint alone. But what we're going to do is we're going to use OneDrive for Business. We're going to show you that, Skype for Business, and we're going to use Word as kind of the Word and PowerPoint as kind of the applications to show how we can do some collaborations. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to save a doc to OneDrive. We're going to show you how to share a doc. We're going to show you how to collaborate on a document so you can have multiple people working on that same document at the same time. We're going to show you how to access those documents from other devices. We're going to discuss some uses for Skype for Business. And at the end of it all, if we have time, we're going to give you a couple of really cool tips on stuff you can put into action right now. So with that being said, we're going to turn this over to Randy Cohn, who's our Client Success Manager and 365 expert extraordinaire. And we are going to let him show us how to do some collaboration on OneDrive.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mark. You know, I was listening to talk about collaboration. Sometimes you have to collaborate with yourself. So you got to be able to access it from wherever you're at. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a pre-made document here. Pretty awesome looking, I'm sure. The demo doc for today's webinar, because we are talking about collaboration. So you make your document just like you normally would. Now this will apply to Excel and PowerPoint and anything that you're normally using. So I'm going to save this particular file, but I'm going to save it to my OneDrive here at 2W Tech. And I'm going to call it Demo Doc. Pretty high tech. And I'm going to save it. All right, so now that file has been saved up on there, and in my OneDrive, now this is through the web interface to get into my Office 365 account. Here you see OneDrive. But before I start looking at all these fancy little icons here, I want to explain something. It's called the waffle. You see it right here. That is the high-tech term, waffle, because it looks like a waffle. Sometimes your apps won't show up here in this screen, but you'll always see what apps you do have right here. So either way, I can go to OneDrive through the waffle, or I can just click on it here because I can see it. With Microsoft, there's many different ways that you can access your stuff. So here's the demo doc that I just made. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to take a look at it. Yep, that's it right there. So what I need to do is I'm just going to close that just for a second. I'm going to go back to OneDrive. And I want to share this doc because I need Mark to be able to add some more type or graphics to it. So I'm going to share it. I'm going to type his name in. There he is. And I'm going to send it to him through Outlook. And so I'm not actually sending him a file. All I'm doing is sending him a link. So you don't have to be sending these monster files over and over and over again within your organization. Okay, so send away.
Okay, so I just got this link from Randy, and I'm going to open it on my machine here, and you can't see this, but it's the same thing that Randy has, and I'm just going to start editing the document also. So, and you'll see this when this happens, that I am actually in the document. So then I'll add my okay, so I've just added that to my document.
Now, here's a tip, and everybody finds this out the hard way. It gives you the option to edit the document. You can edit in the browser, or it'll edit on your local machine. If you want to have collaboration where everybody can see it at the same time, you want to always edit in the browser. Okay, so now you're going to see, so far so good. That's great. All right, so we can close out of that one there. It is a great tool.
Okay, so you want to make me the presenter?
I will do that.
And I'm going to show you now the I'm going to show you how to access on a. Now here's the nice thing, and the interesting thing about Microsoft 365 is the mobile apps are really, really powerful. And in fact, interestingly enough, let me show my screen first. Interestingly enough, the actual the iPhone apps and the iPad apps are actually developed first and are updated every day. But this is my actual iPad, and I use this all the time. And what's happened is the power of 365 has allowed me to really use my iPad. I carry it with me everywhere, so I don't have to haul a laptop with me. The only time this gets a little unwieldy is if I'm trying to do like an Excel file. That doesn't work real well with point and click. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up. This is my OneDrive, and I'm going to open this OneDrive. And I actually, what I do is I mirror all of my folders, and so I'm going to mirror my desktop. I mirror my desktop folder, so the things that sit on my desktop are available to me anywhere from any machine and any browser. So then I'm going to launch this PowerPoint, and it's a PowerPoint. It's a little big, so it's going to take a couple of minutes to. It's going to take a couple of minutes to down, or a couple of seconds to download. So I'm going to sit here and install until it pops up. There it is. And this is the presentation. So how we've developed the presentation today is we actually created a file on OneDrive, just like Randy showed you, and then between Randy and Sue and I, we sat there and we made edits to it, so we didn't have to pass it around via email. So then, Randy does something, he sends it to Sue, Sue sends it to me, and then all of a sudden Randy's working on the wrong revision because I have the revision. This way, you go in, you log on. If you want to do it in PowerPoint, you download it, you just click open in PowerPoint. It locks everybody else out from doing edits. And then on my Apple machine or my iPad, I can actually open this in PowerPoint, and it's just like PowerPoint. It's just like how it works. and here's the presentation that we came up with. Oh, hang on a sec. Hey, Alicia, we're in a webinar, right?
I do, and I'm sorry. I need some help. Can you help me on project ticket for forklift tablets 323486 real quick?
You know what? Let me ask Lisa. Hang on a second.
Thank you.
Say hello to the internet here on the webinar. Okay, so what I did is I'm just gonna send Lisa a quick IM and see if she's available or if she's in the middle of something, if we can get on the phone and talk. And she's obviously not available. Okay, so let's I'll tell you what, hey, you know what? Let's call Mark Canfield. Hang on a sec. Oh, yeah, she's watching us. Okay, anyway. All right, so let me call, we're gonna do a Skype call to Mark Canfield. See what he's got, see if he can help us with this issue.
Hello? I thought you were in a webinar today.
Yeah, we are in a webinar, but we got a quick question for you. Alicia, what do you need from Mark?
Mark, I need some help with the forklift tablets ticket for Dutchland 323486. Can you tell me how many units they are, please?
Dave and I talked about that this morning. Can you ping Dave on it for me, please?
Yep.
So Dave's out of the office, so we're gonna
He's on site today.
Okay, so we're gonna have to call his mobile phone. So let's just give him a quick shout. Here.
Good afternoon, this is Dave.
Hey Dave, it's Mark and Alicia.
Are you guys doing a webinar right now?
Yeah, we are, but we need some help on something, and so sorry to bug you on site. Alicia, what do you need? Oh, you know what? Hey guys, I'm gonna back out of this and keep going on the webinar. So you guys just talk to yourself and talk among yourselves, and we'll see you later. Okay. Oh, and I just got an email from or a Skype from Randy. So
that was from my phone.
It from his phone. So what did we just do there? So, all right. So okay, that was a little cheesy, right? But it shows you, and we do that every day here. Grab people ad hoc. So what did we do? We took a video call, right? I sent an IM to somebody to check and see if they were available to talk with us. We created an ad hoc conference call, adding somebody from Skype and added somebody from a cell phone, and we do that all the time,
Every day.
And it's so efficient and it's so fast, and it stops the back and forth and the email traffic and everything else. So so we're going to show you two more kind of neat things here. We're going to show you, I'm running this PowerPoint presentation off my iPad, by the way. So we're going to show you two things here real quick. Randy is going to show you how to use Flow in the Waffle to create your email attachments, and I'm going to make a Windows folder from OneDrive, a default folder. So the way I have my documents, my desktop set up today. So let me throw this back over to Randy. Okay, so you.
I got her. All right. So back in Microsoft on the web, as you can see, once again, this is the Waffle. So if anyone ever asks you about the Waffle, you'll know where it is. And in there is an application called Flow, which I can access here, or I can get off of here too. So I'll just launch it here. And what Flow does is it helps helps you organize your attachments and other sort of things you can see in here. If you have somebody in your organization, or maybe you yourself is Jack or Jill Lump that always seems to lose a couple of attachments here and there, what you can do is in Flow here is you can save all of your Office 365 Outlook attachments to the OneDrive. And you want to, from here, I'm going to go from 365, Outlook 365 to OneDrive for Business, which is mine, and I'm going to create a flow. I've already done them, but I'm going to create a flow. And now, it comes in, it tells me what's all going on. Here's my connections, me over and over and over. I can actually add other people to that if I wanted to. I can share that folder. And from there, you can literally every attachment that comes in your email, instead of taking it and going, oh, did I put that on a thumb drive or whatever I do, you just put it there and you can access it once again through your Windows login.
Your Windows login, right?
And so now every one of those emails that have attachments will dump a copy of that attachment up on this, on the Flow, on my OneDrive.
So Flow is a really kind of interesting application, and there's all kinds of pre-built flows, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun to go in and kind of see what's there and see if you can take advantage of a couple of things. I do it. I actually do the email attachment flow. I also have a couple of other flows that take action when I get certain emails on with certain subject lines. So go ahead and throw me
I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Yeah, throw it back to me, and I will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take your, how to take a folder like my documents or whatever, and make it an actual flow, or I'm sorry, make it an actual OneDrive document, so that if you're default saving documents to this folder will now automatically be available to you on every device. What's nice when you do it this way, it also will make it available to you on your PC's devices when you're not actually connected to the internet. So you don't have to be connected to the internet all the time to access this stuff. And so it's real simple. There's some clicks involved, so just kind of hang with me here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use I'm going to take this video folder, and I'm actually going to point it to a different folder that I have already previously created in OneDrive. And so you go in, you create the folder you want to you want to be kind of the hub folder, and then you go over here to location, and that's the location of that where that folder stores files. And then we're just going to go find target, and we're going to go up here to OneDrive, and we're going to put it in this shared files folder. So, and then I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to paste it right here. And so now everything, then once I hit move, what it's going to do is it's going to take every file, and it's going to move it to that folder, and it will take every other file that may already be in that folder and move it to this particular folder on your machine, if that makes sense. And that way it will be available everywhere, anywhere you need it to be. So hopefully you're able to follow that. If you want help on that, give us a shout, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through how that works. But that's a real nice, easy breezy way to back up your files and stuff like that.
One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about Flow is if you have that set up and you're let's say attachment heavy in email that you usually have to share with people, by using Flow and having it go up to your OneDrive, instead of having to resend that to multiple people within your building, you just go up there and you actually share the file to those individuals, so it's only residing once on your network instead of over and over and over.
I'm sitting here at the wrong end of this presentation, so I'm gonna try to get us. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. And so anyway, so that's all we have for you today. I'm going to pass it over to Sue, and we're going to open this for questions, right?
All right,
Please
great,
try-
thanks, guys.
try.
All right, here we go. First question: how secure is this?
It's Microsoft, and it is very, very secure. In fact, if you think about it, when you send an email, you're actually attaching that file to an unencrypted email, and you're bouncing it over X amount of untold servers around the globe, essentially. This way, if you take your file and you send the link, that link is attached and is secure and can only be opened by the person who is intended for. Because remember, it's all driven by your Windows logon. So when Randy sent me that file, the only person in the world who could open that file besides Randy was me, and it was all driven by our Windows logons.
Okay, thank you. I should mention this too. If you're still with us and you have any questions, go ahead and submit them still in the question box, and we'll try to get them before we sign off. All right, next question. Do email attachments saved to the OneDrive through Flow stay on the OneDrive if the email is deleted?
Yes. They're always there. Then you can go back in and clean up your folder on Flow. Let's say you don't need it anymore. You can go in and delete it just like you could anywhere else. Yes, they do stay there.
Okay. Do you use landlines anymore, or is everything through Skype, 365 collaboration, and cellular?
It's funny you say that, because we're just kind of having that internally, that discussion internally. But essentially, with Skype, and you have to add a module to Skype called PSTN. It's telephony, basically, functionality. So right now, your Skype has the ability to do the video calls and the Skype to Skype calls. If you want to go outside of the Skype infrastructure, if you will, you need this telephone functionality, and that's a small add-on to a current 365, unless you have E5 licenses, which are really big companies typically will have E5 licenses. And then that gives you the ability to call cell phones and landlines and everything else. But essentially, once you put that phone functionality in there, and we're not there today, but we will be probably in the next couple of months, all of the telephone calls from 2W Technology will go through Skype, and we'll still be the same numbers that everybody calls, but it'll just ring through the Skype platform as opposed to the current platform that we have today.
Okay, next question. If an employee has OneDrive set up and they leave the company, is there an easy way to archive their files, or is it we delete their account and their files are gone?
No, that's the beautiful thing. Go ahead.
You just change the credentials of the account, and they're still there until you decide what you want to do with them. Because remember, your Windows login controls everything. So if Mark leaves 2W, we have to take away his credentials to get in, and he can't get to that. It's all there.
And as opposed to having a bunch of files on a machine that maybe gets wiped or deleted or whatever, you actually have more control over that stuff as an employer.
Okay. Next question. Where can we get training on how to do everything you guys are demonstrating?
Well, he's actually standing right next to me. Randy is a certified customer immersion specialist by Microsoft, and we sent him out to a couple of schools, and that's a big part of his job as the client success manager. So how do they reach out to you?
They can reach out. You can see right there. You can call me or give me an email. If it's somewhat local, and I don't know what local is defined as, but I can maybe come out to the place, or if you're a client with us, I can go in via LabTech,
Yep.
which I've done for a couple of clients, and do it that way. There's many ways to get training. All they got to do is ask.
There you go.
Okay, last question, unless we get one sent in the next minute or so. What level of Office 365 do I have to be running to have these features?
That's a good question. All you need is Business Premium, which will give you, so there's several levels. There's basic, there's premium,
then you go into the E3s and the E5.
and then you go to the E's, which are the enterprise versions. But if you have premium, so premium is like $12.50 a month per user, you will have access to a lot of those applications. And then there's some additional applications you can add on to. You can put Project in there and Visio and that kind of stuff. You can add that to your waffle for a small additional monthly fee.
Okay, it looks like that. Oh, hold on. I think we got one more. Give me 1 second, guys, to pull this one up. Okay. When you use PSTN with Skype, does that then make your landline phone bill go away?
Yep. Because that's where you'd have your phone. So what we would do is we would come in and we would port your numbers, your business numbers, over to Skype, and then we would then assign those numbers to wherever, whether it's the auto attendant or the receptionist or direct dial or whatever. And then, yeah, you don't need to pay that phone bill anymore. That's
Okay.
actually that's the reason we're doing it, right? So we don't have to pay our phone bill anymore.
Sue, and I'll just say, 2W Tech, you know it, but we are a virtual company. We have no hardware anywhere. We use the cloud literally to do business.
Yeah, all of our servers are in Azure, and all of our collaboration tools are in 365, and our line of business software is a SaaS-based version of that. So, yeah, we have no servers anymore in-house.
So all I can say is, please don't use or think of Office 365 as apps. Think of it how you're going to do business in the not that distant future.
And play with it,
Yeah.
and have fun with it. And that's all. I think that's it. If that's all the questions, Sue.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us today. If you need any follow-up information or if you have any more questions, reach out to Mark or Randy. Their contact info should still be up on the screen. They can do whatever they can to get you answers. Everybody have a great day, and thanks so much.
Bye-bye.